Let's get down to business to defeat their pockets. Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. I am filming this after I have already edited together this week's video, purely because I wasn't planning on actually making what I made this week. This week was supposed to be all about my oilskin Kelly anorak that I was going to make, but in the process of starting to make that and get it ready for cutting, I ended up making an entire jacket. So this week, have a follow along with me and see the creative process that goes into me not realizing this is what I was going to be making and the planning that kind of goes along with it. This is a stacker jacket and it is honestly the comfiest, coziest jacket I have ever made. I do have a second stacker jacket that I did base this one on, so if you want to see a bit of a comparison, I will put the timestamp down below if you just want to skip all of the fluffy bit and go straight to the why I changed what I changed and looking at it in a jumbo cord as opposed to this beautiful fluffy material that I got from Sew Me Sunshine, which I will also link their shop down below. And if anyone has any questions or comments on this, obviously please drop me a message below. I do know I've been horrific at replying to comments. I won't lie to you, my little channel has grown so much in the last 2 weeks. I cannot thank you enough. I've gone from, I think, 260 subscribers up to 700 in literally 2 weeks, and it's blown my mind. I felt a little bit overwhelmed, but I am so glad each and every one of you are here. I have been reading every single comment, and I am going to sit down and reply to everyone later this week. So thank you very much for joining me on this journey. If this is the first video you're watching, go back to one of my others, watch that first and then watch this one, and I hope you enjoy seeing me make this so nice, this gorgeous jacket. This is the second time I'm making this jacket and I'm really excited because I'm making it in this really cool fluffy material. Ta-da! Which is nice and it's spring-like. I got this from Sew Me Sunshine. She is out of stock now, which is kind of sad, but it's really fluffy, so I can't wait to just wear it and like stroke my arm all of the time. I was gonna say stroke myself, but that sounded a bit weird. But as this is the second time I'm making this jacket, I already know that there are a couple of things that I love about the stacker jacket and a couple of things I didn't love so much, such as the lack of pockets on the sides. So what I'm currently doing is I've been watching a couple of YouTube videos, which I will link below if anyone's interested, in adding welt pockets and adding side seam pockets, in trying to work out how I can make it so that I have somewhere for my little hands, because I hate wearing gloves, my hands get cold. So what I've done is I have grabbed my 3 jackets that I have previously made. I have issues. So we've got the stacker jacket here, and as you can see it has these, can I help you? It's Mallory, my dog. It has the pockets here that you enter from the top. They're open from the top, but they're great for putting a phone in or snacks, but they're not great for little hands. So that's what we're working with. And I'm doing exactly the same size. I'm not changing anything other than the fact that I am adding pockets. So we've got my Deer and Doe loop-in jacket, which has welt pockets, which you can see here. These are quite small. I remember thinking last time I wore this, because it's not something I've worn very often because it's not spring anymore, that the pockets are a bit too small for my hands. I'm also a bit concerned that the material I've got, the pink material, is going to be too thick for welt pockets. So this is my Bertha cardigan by Tilly and Buttons, which I did a sew along to. I'll link it here. I'm getting the hang of this YouTube thing, finally, slowly but surely. And it has the, I don't know what they're called, but it has these pockets. And at the time I was annoyed because the fabric is far too thick for this. However, as I was sat having my coffee, mulling over what I'm going to do about all of this and working out what pattern piece I need to cut next, I got a comment on my video about this saying, why don't you use lining for the inside of the pockets instead of the same material, which seems like a really obvious thing, but it hadn't crossed my mind. I've already decided that for my Kelly anorak, I don't want to use this anymore. It's just too plain. It's not me. It's not me enough. So I thought I would use this as my lining for the stacker jacket because I think it goes really nicely with the pink and the blue. So I'm going to use this on the inside with this on the outside, and we'll see how that goes in terms of pockets, but it doesn't feel too heavy. And I think it's going to work. It's going to work, right? I now just have to work out how to draft it onto the pattern. What I didn't think about was on the stacker jacket, the hemline, you fold this up on the inside to meet the lining so that then creates the hem, which means I can't use the Bertha cardigan pattern because what they do is they have a waistband which it will enclose that bottom seam. So if I did it this way, I would have 2, 3, 4 layers of material in the back here, which is just going to be too chunky. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to work out how to draft my own pocket on this. Okay, so change of planet again. This is my stacker jacket. I've got a really bulky jumper on underneath, so it's not sitting very well. But this is my current stacker jacket. And really, I want the pockets to be exactly where the pocket is currently. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make these pockets, but instead of having this as the opening, have this as the opening and see how that looks. So I've ended up sat on the floor. Ta-da! There's a sleeping dog there too. I've ended up sat on the floor because sometimes you just need to be grounded, you know? The welt pockets aren't going to work because the material is too thick. The patch pockets aren't going to work because the width isn't big enough, and I think it'll look a bit stupid if I do what I was planning to do. So we're back to plan A, B, C? I don't even know anymore. But we're going to go with the Bertha cardigan edition, and instead of the seam allowance, I'm going to give it an extra seam allowance for the pocket so that the bottom will sit on the seam allowance of the jacket. So that's what we're going to try and do, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and we just have to start again. It's fine. That's the worst that can happen. The worst that can happen when a sewing project goes wrong, you waste a bit of time, you get a bit frustrated, and you lose out on some of your material. That's literally the worst thing. No one's going to die. No one's going to be upset other than me. No one's going to think you're foolish for trying, right? So we're just going to try it. Why isn't this easy? Okay, I'll show you what I do. Let's just go for it. I think I figured it out. So what I've done is I forgot that this side bit also folds in and meets the lining on the inside. So when I was looking at it, it wasn't matching the jacket that I have, and it just looked really out of place and weird. So now we have a new plan. It's going to work. So you can see here I have folded under the hemlines, yeah, on both sides, the bit that will go on the inside to meet the lining. And then what I've done is I've drawn a diagonal where I think I want the look to go. So I like the height of this pocket that is usually there. So I thought I'd start at the top and we're going down into the seam. So this will get encapsulated in the seam allowance. And then what I'm going to do is trace off another piece of paper with seam allowances at the top and the bottom so that when it folds up, the edge of the pocket will line up with the fold on the jacket. And I think it'll look okay. Fingers crossed. So I've cut 2 of these, which is the front of my material, and I've cut 2 in the lining material as well. So this will be the inside of the pocket and this will be the outside of the pocket. Then what I'm going to do, hopefully it's going to work. So we're just going to follow the Tilly the Button Bertha pocket add-on tutorial, but with this material and the 3 sides, and I'll let you know how it goes. I wasn't meant to be saying this today, but oh well. It's worked. I think it's worked. I ended up just overlocking 3 sides and bagging out the pocket. So they currently look like this. So you've got the inside and the outside, and then this end is the open end. So here we have it, they are done. I really am pleased that I went with the blue lining. I think it's going to look really nice on the inside of the jacket. This has lined up perfectly. I've now undone this, so this was flipped up so I could get an idea of where it was going to sit on the jacket as a whole. So now that these are fully attached and I've base stitched them on the sides as well, I'm going to continue sewing as per usual. It's quite nice to be able to actually just work through an issue and show that I don't just like click my fingers and make these things, because I've had a bit of imposter syndrome in that people seem to think that I'm really good at what I do, and I'm there like, I'm adequate but I enjoy it, so that's the point, right? Oh my goodness, I'm so fluffy. This material is molting everywhere, but I think I'm going to continue on for a little bit and just get the top yoke part finished for today, and then tomorrow I might just do some like extracurricular crafts, fun crafts, and then tomorrow we're going to cut out my Kelly anorak because I've been putting it off for so long, and I got some clips today because you're not allowed to put pins in oilskin apparently. So I got the clips today, but the light is fading and we haven't fixed the light in this room yet. So I have to stop when it gets dark anyway, so I thought might as well just continue with this for a little bit just to see what it looks like. But I'm excited about the possibility of having a very, very cozy fluffy jacket to cuddle up in for spring. I think it looks cute, look. Ta-da! Oh, it's just so soft. So please forgive this. I've been doing a boot camp every morning at like 8 AM, and today I just felt super inspired, so I just haven't showered yet, but I'm gonna have a really nice hot bath after this because I thought I'd just show you the outer shell is done. Doesn't it look so comfy? I'm very excited about this material. The sleeves were a lot easier to put in this time. Don't know what I did differently, but I'm really pleased with it, and it's got the blue collar underneath. It's like the silky material, and then it's got pockets either side at the tops. Ta-da! And then it's got my like handmade home designed pockets on the front, but I've just noticed there's like a tiny little catch at the top where I have reinforced it, so I'm just going to unpick that before I do the lining just to see if I can neaten that up a bit. Eventually it's gonna look a bit like this. So we're very pleased. Yeah, I need to fix that pocket. It is now full on night time, so the whole afternoon plan did not go as planned, but in the words of my favourite Disney movie, it is time. So I thought I'd attempt to do this on camera. Ta-da! It's complete! I am so pleased with how this has turned out. So I added 2 buttons from Pigeon Wishes, just on the top for decoration. I'm not going to add any button fastenings because I don't think it needs it. I quite like that it's an open jacket, but also this material I just don't think I'm going to be able to sew buttonholes through. So I'm not even going to try. Experienced. So I thought to finish up I would just do a bit of a compare and contrast between my newest stacker jacket and my older stacker jacket that you have seen previously in the video. So this one was made out of a jumbo cord with a calf facet inset, and the difference for me is quite obvious. So the first thing that I did was obviously I've added the top pockets on this one, which I don't have on this jacket, and I have added my own edited side pockets, which I absolutely love. Already I've been wandering around the house with my hands in my pockets. Super etiquetted. Etiquetted? Such good etiquette for a lady. This one I had the patch pockets on, and I have added buttons the whole way. I'm just going to pop into this one and you can see this, like the sizing difference. I used exactly the same sizing. I think it was a size 5. I think it was a size 5, whichever the equivalent of a size 14 is. And oh, it's just, this one's like wearing a hug. So, 1 second please. So here is the original jacket. As you can see, it is vaguely the same fit, but I think just because the jacket material is much thinner, it feels a bit more structured and a lot less kind of cuddly. But you can see here, so the sleeves, let me come closer, the sleeves are actually bunched on this one, so I'm not sure what I did wrong. That's a lie. I think I know what I did wrong. It was only recently that I discovered that on a jacket or a top pattern, if there's one side that has 2 notches and one side that has 1 notch, it's not a case of the 1 matches the 2 and the 2 matches the 1. It's a case of the 2 matches the 2 and the 1 matches the 1. So I think the sleeves on this one might actually be backwards. Doesn't affect the fit, it just has this little poofy bit at the top, which it's kind of cool. I like it, it just adds a little bit. And obviously with the pockets, not having, I can undo them, but I just feel a bit like a dinosaur. Me saying feeling like a dinosaur is a bad thing. Weird. Do you know what I mean? It's just, it's not comfortable, so it's great for phones and snacks, but not so great for actual hands. I like this one, it's perfect for autumn, but this just feels like a completely next level, and my skill in sewing has definitely improved between this jacket and this jacket. So I'm very happy. So there we have it, my accidental jacket making week. But as always, if you've liked this video, hit the thumbs up button, make sure you're subscribed to me, and I will see you next weekend for some more fun. Bye!